Good evening. The following is a live broadcast for the City of Kingsport Board of Mayor and Alderman. Board meetings are regularly scheduled on the first and third Tuesdays of each month at 7 p.m. In advance of the BMA meeting, a copy of the agenda is available for inspection at the Kingsport Public Library, City Hall, or online at kingsporttn.gov.
Good evening. Welcome to the Kingsport Board of Mayor and Alderman business meeting. Today's Tuesday, August 17th, 2021. This is the meeting where we actually vote on measures. The first couple of things that we do is we'll have the Pledge of Allegiance, and please remain standing for the invocation. The Pledge of Allegiance will be led by Johnny May Swaggerty and the New Vision Youth. And if you're not familiar with them, Ms. Swaggerty has a great group that helps kids get on the right path, and we appreciate the work she does. Miss Johnny May. Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Pastor Rick Mead will lead us in prayer.
Father, we are thankful for the day that you have given us, for all the blessings that we have enjoyed this day. We realize that every good thing that we enjoy each and every day comes from you. Father, we thank you for our board, mayor and alderman, and I pray for their meeting tonight. Lord, whatever comes before them, that you will grant to them the knowledge and wisdom they need to make the right decision. Lord, I thank you for our community. Lord, our community is no different than any others. We have many successes, but Lord, we have also many challenges. So Lord, just give our leaders the guidance they need, Lord, as they deal with these challenges. Maybe even in this meeting, Lord, I don't know. But I just want to thank you again for all you do for us and all this I ask in Jesus' name.
Amen. Thank you, Pastor Mead from the Lynn Garden Baptist Church. Please be seated. Madam Recorder, please call the roll.
Mayor Schul.
Here.
Vice Mayor George. Alderman Cooper. Here. Alderman Duncan.
Here.
Alderman Montgomery.
Here.
Alderman Alterman.
Here.
Alderman Phillips.
Here.
Thank you. By my reckoning, we have 6 members present and the vice mayor is absent. By the way, the vice mayor is absent for good reason. She's actually at a Sullivan County Commission meeting, and we appreciate her doing service on both the county commission and the Board of Mayor and Alderman. Mr. City Manager, I'll turn it over to you right now.
All right, we have 2 recognitions on the agenda tonight. The first recognition is Dr. Spivey.
Okay, the challenge is getting the microphone out of the thing. The reason I asked Dr. Spivey, I tell you what, the board, so you didn't want you to face the audience here, and Mrs. Spivey, you make us both look good. The reason I asked Dr. Spivey here today is I simply want to honor him. Some of y'all are probably familiar that I often give a coin to either a great city employee who's really gone above and beyond to do something good for the city, or for just one of our citizens who have really contributed in a significant way to the city. And I definitely wanted to recognize Dr. Spivey. Now, I've known him quite a while because we were in Dobbins Bend at the same time. He has been an emergency room physician for many years. And he was also at the same time the advisor and went on many calls with the Kingsport life-saving crew. He's just been an outstanding voice in the medical community. And most recently, which really jumps out at us, is that he has volunteered his efforts with the Sullivan County Health Department. Now, let me paint you a quick picture here. if you'll recall, we had a period early in the winter where we had car after car after car lined up at the Bristol Motor Speedway, people lined up there to get their vaccine. Now, this was all new to all of us, but Mickey was there, Dr. Spivey was there day after day after day, totally volunteer, not paid, because we didn't know, everybody's body's different, that some people could have had a reaction to the vaccine. So Mickey was there to provide expert medical care if needed. And I tell you, I went out there and it was a cold and rainy day, but Mickey was out there checking on his patients, and he had thousands of patients. And there's just no more dedicated person in our medical community for many, many years than Dr. Mickey Spivey. And he's a true servant of the community, and I appreciate all he's done. And Mickey, thank you. I got a coin for you. It's pretty nice. Want to say something to the crowd?
Is it okay? Very appreciative of this recognition and very honored, but honestly, I feel like I'm just one of many who have volunteered to try to make things better for the people in their area. I do feel extremely grateful, though, and I would like to express some of that gratitude. I'm grateful that I was born and raised in Kingsport. I'm grateful that I was able to come back to my hometown and to practice emergency medicine and to be involved with emergency services here in Kingsport and Sullivan County for many, many years. I'm also grateful that I've been able to have some good health, fortunately, which has enabled me to try to be able to give back in some way and to try to help to provide some service to the citizens of Kingsport. But one thing that I'm extremely grateful for is their people. These last 18 months or so have been unimaginable. We have endured so many difficulties. We have endured so much pain, and we have witnessed so much tragedy. But during all of this, the one thing that has stood out to me is that I personally have witnessed so many good people doing so many good things for our community, and it just kind of warms your heart to see that. And I am extremely appreciative of all those individuals, those people who are willing to do so much, regardless of what you ask them to do. They're willing to come and to help and to get out in the weather and stand in the weather to try to help out. And many of these people volunteer to do this stuff even if it puts their own health at risk. And many of these people do this day in and day out, not only in the avenue of the COVID response, but also especially in their public safety arena. And I just wanted to say that I appreciate them greatly. I appreciate that all that they do, and I wanted to make sure that they understand that what they do is important and they have made a difference. And so I just wanted to say thanks to them. I'd like to say thanks to you guys. I really appreciate this. I appreciate this recognition, and it is indeed an honor, but I would like to accept that not only for me, but also in the name of all the many other volunteers who do so much every day to try to help make Kingsport a better place.
Well, thank you. I'm going to put you on the spot for one last thing. Because I'm not the doctor you are. I've been advising people that if they're hesitant about the vaccine, my wife and I got vaccinated for the COVID, that they should consult their family physician. Everybody's body's different, and I can understand that some people would have reluctance. Am I telling them the right thing?
Absolutely. That is the best person to contact. You can understand that there's been some conflicting information and stuff out there, and some of the hesitancies are out there, but by all means, the best person to discuss this with is your family physician.
All right. Well, thank you, and thank you for everything you've done.
All right, thank you.
Mr. City Manager, please proceed.
All right, next recognition is August Keep Kingsport Beautiful, and Neil Brown is here to present.
All right. Is this thing still on? Can you guys hear me? Maybe. All right. All right. Thanks for having me, everybody. Again, my name is Neil Brown. I'm the volunteer chair for Keep Kingsport Beautiful. And as they were saying, I'm here to present the Beautification Awards for this August. So we're 3/4 of the way through this season's Beautification Awards. We'll go through what we've got here. Here on this slide, we have the home of Gary and Debbie Whittington on Grandview Court. The judge notes that the front porch of this home has a welcome sign, and the owners have made a great effort to convey that message throughout their landscaping. The entry is marked with pots of red petunias and yucca, while geraniums echo the colors. Evergreens provide a screen for a side yard patio and fire pit. Mature trees frame the property. Gerbera daisies highlight a neighborly conversation bench. Here on the next slide, we have the home of Jack and Teresa Bricky at Fareham Place. The judge noted that this home is a delight to the eyes, with a large maple tree shading the front yard and manicured lawn, as well as a well-edged sidewalk and driveway leading to the front door. As you approach the house, knockout roses draw your eye to a flower bed, along with well-maintained bushes and a large holly tree. The front flower beds mirror each other and frame the home nicely. On this slide, we have the home of Diane Begley on Nola Lane. This home features hostas, black-eyed Susans, cone flowers, ferns, and a beautiful red crepe myrtle. Here we have the home of Amber Adams on Newbern Road. This home features astonishing window boxes filled with beautiful flowers. I actually ran by this house the other day. It really does look nice. Here we have the home of Jim and Susan Cormelson on Rockwood Place. The home is stately and features a well-manicured lawn with lots of greenery, a crepe myrtle, and million bell flowers. Here we have this month's church beautification winner, which is Lynn Garden Evangelical Methodist Church on Nelm Street. The property may not be overflowing with flowers and other plants, but the judge was thoroughly impressed by just how tidy and maintained it is at all times. The church sign out front is adorned with flowers and shrubs, creating a welcoming appearance. This month's Business Beautification Award winner is Performance Medicine on Center Street. The front lawn features million bells, yellow flowers, and New Guinea impatiens in front of the sign. An inviting porch welcomes visitors into the practice. Last but not least, we have this month's Redevelopment Beautification Award winner, which is Zephyr Limited Liability Corporation, located down here on Commerce Street. The photo on your left shows the building as it stood in 1930, quite some time ago, and the photo on the right shows it in 1955. Here on the next slide, you can see the building as it is today. The owners have completely remodeled this historic telephone building with multiple upgrades to the interior and exterior of the structure. The project also features new landscaping elements which provide an overall improvement to the streetscape of Commerce.
And our owners are here tonight.
They are absolutely here. So these are the Beautification Award winners that showed up today. So if you guys would please stand to be recognized. And thank you guys. You know, development in the downtown region, as we all know, is quite important. So thank you very much. That's all I have.
Go ahead, Mr. City Manager.
All right, the first item is appointments to the Bays Mountain Park Commission. And tonight you're considering 3 reappointments to the commission, each for an additional 3-year term: Russ Brogdon, Robin Kirkhoff, and Woody Reeves. We ask that you approve the appointments as presented.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Moved by Alderman Montgomery. Is there a second? Seconded by Alderman Cooper. Is there any discussion? All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? It passes 6-0. Okay. Item.
So next item is the approval of minutes for the work session of August 2nd, 2021, and the business meeting held on August 3rd, 2021. We ask that you approve the minutes as submitted.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Moved by Alderman Duncan. Is there a second?
Second.
second by Alderman Phillips. Is there any discussion? We're voting on both the work session and business meeting minutes. All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? It passes 6-0. Mr. City Manager, I see we don't have any particular community interest items. We have no public hearings. We are at the portion of our meeting where citizens may speak on agenda items, just the items that we're covering tonight. If you'd like to speak on an item of general civic interest, there's a portion toward the end of this meeting where you can do that. But on agenda items only, when you come to the podium, please state your name and address and sign the register that is provided. You're encouraged to keep your comments non-personal in nature, and they should be limited to 5 minutes. A total of 30 minutes is allocated for public comment during this part of the agenda. Are there any citizens that wish to come forward and address the board? If not, I declare that part of the meeting to be over, and Mr. City Manager, proceed.
All right, the first item is an ordinance to amend the fiscal year 21 health insurance budget by appropriating funds received in various revenue accounts, as well as transferring $500,381 from the health insurance fund balance in order to close out fiscal year 21. The fund balance is presently over $4 million, and the bulk of the overage expenses last year were COVID-related. We ask that you approve this ordinance as presented.
Okay, I guess this is my part of the meeting where I make a brief explanatory remark, and that is, if it seems like tonight that we're rushing through this, we're really not. All the individual members of the board have met one-on-one with the city manager and gone over these items in detail. Then, after that, we have a work session where the board comes together, discusses the items further, and we may discuss some tonight. There might have been an alderman that might have a question about something that they just thought of after pondering the issue, but that's the way we do it. And so, Mr. Attorney, please publish.
An ordinance to increase the health insurance fund budget for the fiscal year ending June 30th, 2021, and to fix the effective date of this ordinance.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve? So moved. Moved by Alderman Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman Cooper. Is there any discussion? If not, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? It passes 6-0. Mr. City Manager.
Next item is an ordinance to amend the fiscal year 22 fleet maintenance fund in the amount of $302,192 to cover increases in expenditures during the present fiscal year. We ask that you approve this ordinance as presented.
Thank you, and I'd like to compliment you and your folks that
Of this ordinance.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve?
So
Moved by Alderman Duncan, seconded by Alderman Phillips. Is there any discussion? If not, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? It passes 6-0. Next item.
All right, the next item is an ordinance on second and final reading to amend the zoning code by removing the prohibition of certain building materials for purposes of compliance with new state law, Public Chapter 332. The proposed ordinance requires certain building materials to be restricted in construction of buildings. Our planning manager, Ken Weems, conducted a public hearing at the last meeting and is here to answer any questions. We ask that you approve this ordinance on second and final reading.
Thank you. Mr. Attorney, please publish.
An ordinance amending various sections of Chapter 114 of the Code of Ordinances, City of Kingsport, Tennessee, pertaining to zoning by removing the prohibition of certain construction materials, creating a waiver process for the use of certain construction materials, and to fix the effective date of this ordinance.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Moved by Alderman Phillips. Is there a second? Second by Alderman. Any discussion? Reminder, this will be a roll call vote. If no discussion, please take the vote.
Alderman Cooper. Aye. Alderman Duncan.
Aye.
Alderman Montgomery.
Aye.
Alderman Alterman.
Aye.
Alderman Phillips.
Aye.
Mayor Schul.
Aye, the item passes 6-0. Next item.
All right, we're excited to bring this as adding to some of the park inventory we have. Next item is a resolution to enter into a professional design agreement with Barge Design Solutions for Riverbend Park located along the South Fork of the Holston on Riverbend Drive. It's adjacent to Fort Henry Walmart. And we ask that you approve the resolution as presented.
Right. I'm glad you reminded everybody that it's behind the Walmart on Fort Henry Drive on the east side of town. And we're looking forward to this project moving along. Mr. Attorney, please publish.
A resolution approving an agreement with Barge Design Solutions for Riverbend Park Professional Design Services and authorizing the mayor to execute the agreement and all other documents necessary and proper to effectuate the purpose of the agreement.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve? So moved. Moved by Alderman Montgomery. Is there a second? Second. Second by Alderman Cooper. Any discussion?
Let me.
Yeah, Tommy, go ahead.
I got one thing. Is this Barge group, is that the same group that has the Barge Wagner?
Yes,
Are
they
they the same group?
rebranded, yes, sir. They rebranded a few years back from Barge Wagner, Sumner Cannon to
Yeah.
Barge Design Solutions. Yes, sir.
Okay. That's
Same-
it.
Essentially the same guys.
That's it. That's good.
You got it.
Okay. Any other discussion? If not, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? It passes 6-0. Mr. City Manager.
All right. Just trying to get the map up on this one. Next item is a resolution to agree to a work estimate that allows the city of Kingsport to pay Sullivan County at cost to repave a portion of Shady View Drive located within the city as they repave the portion that's located outside the city. This is a routine cooperative effort we do about every year with them. That way, the citizens and the road doesn't really understand where the city limits are, and that way we can pave through and have one complete project. So we would ask that you approve the resolution as presented.
Yeah, and having served on not only this board, but the county commission, it's something that does happen periodically, and I think y'all have a good cooperative working relationship. Mr. Attorney, please publish.
A resolution approving a work estimate from the Sullivan County Highway Department for resurfacing portions of Shady View Road and authorizing the mayor to execute the work estimate and all other documents necessary and proper to effectuate the purpose of this resolution.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve? Moved by Alderman Duncan. Is there a second? Second. Second by Alderman Montgomery. Any discussion? If not, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Any opposed? Passes 6-0. Next item.
All right, before I read this, I just wanted to mention how much we appreciate John Burkholder and the amount of knowledge and his guidance through many of these type of items that he has provided us. So
And he's with us
he
tonight.
is with us. He's our new risk manager. I say new, it's probably 6, 8, 10 months by now.
You're not saying hiring him was risky, was it?
No, it-
Okay.
Next item is a resolution to approve a release of all claims for USAA Insurance Company and its insured, Michael W. Richards, for payment of damages to a fence and a sewer lift station due to a vehicle crash on September 16th, 2018 on Clouds Ford Road. The request is to accept the coverage limit of $25,000 and to settle the claim. We ask that you approve the resolution as presented.
Thank you. And Mr. Burkholder, we do appreciate your analysis and attention to detail on these items. Mr. Attorney, please publish.
A resolution approving a property damage release from USAA Insurance Company for property damage to a fence and sewer lift pump station on Clouds Ford Road and authorizing the mayor to execute the release and all other documents necessary and proper to effectuate the purpose of the release.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Moved by Alderman, seconded by Alderman Cooper. Is there any discussion? If not, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? It passes 6-0. Next item.
The next item is a resolution to amend a blanket order with Tennessee Book Company for fiscal year '22 textbook purchases. Tennessee Book Company is the official state of Tennessee school book distributor, and the additional funds to increase the blanket order are being provided from the Elementary and Secondary School Emergency Relief the ESER 2 funds. So we ask that you approve the resolution as presented.
And the ESSER 2 funds are from the federal government, and it was a program that was designed to alleviate some of the worst effects of the pandemic.
Yes, sir.
And I'll remind her, I always figure there's somebody watching this for the first time. Our school board is elected in their own right, and of course, they develop a budget, but we approve their budget. And therefore, the items that come to us throughout the year of large dollar purchases and things involve a lot of money, we have to approve them as well. But we work very closely with the school board. Mr. Attorney, please publish.
A resolution authorizing the purchase of replacement textbooks by the Kingsport City School System for fiscal year 2022 and authorizing the city manager to amend the blanket purchase order for the same.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve?
Approve.
Was that Alderman Montgomery?
So approved. Yes, so moved.
So moved, okay. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman Phillips. Any discussion? If not, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
It passes 6-0. I was just thinking, Alderman Montgomery, you were the president of the school board at one time.
Once upon a time,
Yeah, so you know all about this
when I was a
stuff.
little boy.
Oh, you're little, okay. Mr. City Manager.
All right, before the next one, we just want to tell you how happy we are with the redevelopment of this site. If you've not been out to the old Walmart site on the corner of Stone Drive and I-26, it definitely does not look like it did a year ago. And the developer has got it ready for homes to start being built, and this is just part of that process. So the next item is a resolution to authorize the reimbursement of materials agreement funds to Landstar LLC, also known as Landstar Partners LLC, for the Westgate Phase 1 development. The board will recognize it, as I mentioned, as the old Walmart site. And we ask that you approve the resolution as presented.
And folks that work for you go out and visit these type sites routinely.
Yeah, the way they're building more or less the citizens' assets, so we inspect and make sure as they're accepted, they're our roads after that. So they're on site daily with those that are building all this stuff. So everything was built as we expected.
Thank you. Mr. Attorney, please publish.
A resolution authorizing reimbursement of materials agreement funds to the Landstar Partners LLC, also known as Landstar Partners LLC, for the Westgate Phase 1 development.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Moved by Alderman Phillips. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Alderman Duncan. Any discussion?
Just to Ryan's point, if you go out and look at this, this is out of the 1,500 lots and homes we've approved in the last year. I think these are the ones that are about to go under the fastest, a new neighborhood that's going to be coming up. So it's worth the look. It's pretty interesting.
That's a great comment, and for the citizens who don't know it, Alderman Phillips is involved in building projects all the time, so he takes a keen interest in all these, and we appreciate that. Any other discussion? If not, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? It passes 6-0. Next item.
Next item is a resolution for the purchase of a used 2018 Caterpillar D6 dozer from Stowers Machinery. This is to replace a D8 dozer that caught fire at the city's landfill earlier in the year and was a total loss. Since that time, we have been leasing this D6 from Stowers. And this is not something, a pathway of purchase that we have pursued many times in the past, so this was fairly unique for us, and I'd really like to commend on the operational side, Tim Elsey and Steve Leonard and Rodney Deal, and kind of on the administrative side, our procurement department, the budget department, legal department, and risk, and all working together to be able to make a purchase that really saves the citizens a ton of money. This dozer would cost around $500,000 new, and the functionality of a 2018 dozer compared to a 2021 is almost the same. So we're purchasing this at a much lower cost. So we ask that you approve this resolution as presented.
And to operate the landfill, it's basically a mission essential piece of equipment.
Yes, more or less the next day after this was the D8 burnt, we had the D6 on site.
Yeah,
So
yeah. Mr. Attorney, please publish.
A resolution authorizing the city manager to execute a purchase order for a used 2018 Caterpillar D6 dozer from Stowers Machinery.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve? Moved by Alderman Cooper. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman Duncan. Is there any discussion? If not, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? It passes 6-0. Mr. City Manager.
All right, next item is a resolution to authorize a change in name and title of the person of record with ICMARC Mission Square as the plan coordinator on behalf of the city retirement plan. We recommend changing the names from a specific employee name to Human Resource Department, into Human Resource Department to Director of Human Resources.
May I interrupt you for a second? So the next 5 items all fall under our consent agenda. So to be voted on together, is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. So you did number 1. You want to go ahead and do with 5?
I can do it.
Okay.
All right. So and then the next item is a resolution authorizing the mayor to execute all necessary and proper documents with flexible benefit administrators for the COBRA Administrative Services. This action helps us to ensure that we're in compliance with various laws and regulations surrounding COBRA. The following item is a resolution authorizing the mayor to execute a deed of easement to Domtar Paper Company. This action is part of the pilot agreement between Domtar and the city related to the property transfer of Cloud Park and Cement Hill. The next item is a resolution designating the officials authorized to execute banking transactions for the city of Kingsport. And the final item is a resolution authorizing the mayor to execute a stormwater annual compliance report as required by Tennessee Department of Environment Conservation. And we ask that you approve all of them as presented.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So move.
Alderman has moved that we accept the, all items, all 5 items on the consent agenda as
As presented.
presented by Mr. McReynolds. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman Montgomery. Any discussion? If not, Madam Recorder, please take the vote.
Alderman Cooper,
Aye to all 5.
Alderman Duncan,
Aye to all.
Alderman Montgomery,
Aye to all.
Alderman Ultraman,
Aye to all.
Alderman Phillips,
Aye to all.
Mayor Schul.
Aye to all 5 items, therefore all pass 6-0. Mr. City Manager.
All right, we have moved now into the communications. I'll kick it off. It's been a year, so I'm a little rusty at this, but
Okay. For our viewers who don't recognize this handsome young man here, this is our deputy city manager and also is the director of public works. He's got a really big job, I think, like 3,000 people report. No, a lot of people report to him who do important things on behalf of our citizens. So please proceed.
all right. Well, like last time, one thing that my communication is just to really brag on our employees and just kind of shine a light on them for a second. When I first got here, I was really impressed with the dedication, the ownership, and above all, the fact that they treat the citizens as neighbors. And one reason is because most of these employees are our neighbors. And two items or 2 events that kind of brought this to my attention. One is definitely not related to any of the work I'm responsible for, but my daughter walks to school every day. It's a few houses away, and you have the SRO and you have the assistant principals, and I've watched the SRO, and he doesn't just do his job. He speaks to all the parents as they drop off kids. He speaks to my daughter. My daughter has a relationship, a friendship with the SRO, and it's very intentional. He's doing that because he's our neighbor. He's doing that to get to know who these kids are as well and the different situations they come from. So that just struck me as, that's really going above and beyond. And then the other was an email that I think you received from a newcomer And I can't even go through all of the different employees that they recognized in the email.
That was this week, right?
And that was
When you
this
talk
week,
about the-
yes, sir. But the one I will recognize was a garbage operator that he flagged down at his house. And this young man got out of his truck, and this is a gentleman that has moved here and his wife that have been familiar with city operations and spent time describing the sanitation services, the various sanitation services that we provide. And it just struck me, he could have just waved, he could have yelled through the window, but he spent time to welcome this neighbor. And really, we can multiply that by all of our employees, and it really, I'm very proud of every one of them.
And I got to thank one of them, that the fellow mentioned, the person that Ryan's talking about, this newcomer to the city, was a professional municipal employee in another town and chose to move to Kingsport, so we're flattered when anybody from outside that comes, decides to make Kingsport our home, and we were deeply appreciative of his remarks, commenting on the professionalism of our employees. So that was an interesting email. And he signed up to be on my weekly email update. Is that it?
That's it.
Thank you. Daryl, it's your turn, right? Okay.
I've just got a few items I appreciated. Our stormwater department and cultural arts, along with Engage Kingsport, is looking for creative and talented people and artists to paint some of our storm drains. And so if you go around town, you can see a number of them that's already been painted. And so it's that time again to kind of sign up and to go and paint. This is also a contest too, so the winner of this will get $100. And the last day to sign up to do this, so, is Friday the 20th. So be sure, if you've got the talents and the artistic nature, to be sure to do that, because it is a very much asset to our city, I think. I'd like to invite everybody to Allendale Concert Series. We've got, I think, 2 more of those this week. Is the 1980s cover band group, Spank. And I'm sure they'll do a great job in bringing a good crowd as well. And then Best Snap, I think, closes out the end of this concert series.
7 p.m. was when the music starts at Allendale on the lawn.
Right, food trucks and.
Food trucks are there, yeah.
So we've got other beverages down there too. And then finally, this past week, United Way of Greater Kingsport kicked off their campaign for 2021. And their goal is $3 million. And I am sure they'll reach their goal this year. And United Way touches over 1,400 people's lives that are impacted each and every day. So I urge people to donate. We have a very caring and loving and giving city, so I'm sure that they'll reach their goal this year. That's it.
Thank you. Miss Betsy?
I just want to remind everyone that as school starts back, they've been in session for a little while now, just to be careful as you're traveling through the school zones in the morning and afternoon. I think last year I think we've had a little break from schools being in full session, so just be aware that of school buses, and I think there was incident behind Dobbins Minute that kind of made everyone ultra aware of the danger of when kids get out of school. They're not thinking of safety as much as just getting across the street to their homes. So just, and then also just as school's back in session too, with this, the COVID, teachers, students, parents are all so concerned with what's happening now. So just say a little prayer every night that our schools continue to stay in session, and the teachers and the staff and the students stay safe. I know yesterday with Governor Lee's announcement about not mandating masks, just know that it's your option, as a teacher or a staff member or a parent, that you can still wear masks. So that's still a personal choice. So that's, even though you mandated it not to be a requirement, it's still your choice to send your child in a mask if that's what you choose to do. My daughter teaches at 6th grade science at Zephyr, and she wears a mask every day. So that's because that's her choice to do. So, but just, think about the stress the teachers are under, trying to get back in full mode again this year, and after taking what was a rough year last year. So just hope and pray that they can stay in session and stay safe, and that that this last COVID spike will end soon, and we can get back to whatever kind of normal that we can get back to.
We thought we were
We
there.
thought we were in. We
Yeah.
know. I think that makes this one harder because we thought we had passed the worst of it, and now that when you see the numbers go up again, it just it almost makes it harder this time. So just remember the schools, and just watch out for the little kiddos as they go to and from school, as they walk like your daughter does every day, as they walk to and from school. Sometimes they're not paying attention like they should. So we need to pay attention for them. That's it.
Okay, thank you. Paul?
Oh, I just want to, this past weekend, I got to participate in an event at the Low Country Boil downtown. We're raising funds for the Netherlands, a very worthy cause, and I just love working with you guys that worked that event. It was a labor of love, and
Labor is the key word.
James, your mother is a dynamo when it comes to organization and getting things done. So I applaud the Netherlands Association and Bobby Phillips for the work that's done there, and appreciate all that's done. Also, want to add my appreciation for Dr. Spivey and the work that he's been doing, and encourage those, as the mayor said, to speak to your physician, and if you have not been vaccinated, and encourage you to do that and make that choice. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. James?
Not much, just two important things. One, there's a website that you can go to right now. The MPO is trying to make plans for the future of East Center Street. And so if you want to give your opinion on what you think that part of Center Street should look like from, I'm going to say, about a little bit before Seavers on down, you can go onto the City of Kingsport's website and go to the MPO portion, and they've created a website where you can log on and you can drop your comments on the map, exactly what you think. And so that's really important for what that future portion of Center Street is going to look like going forward. Second thing is just want to thank Adrienne and her team for the presentation last night. I always tell people, if you're going to watch anything, watch the Monday night meeting, because that's where we have really good presentations. It gets you up to date on what's going on with the city. And then I thought last night, Jason did a good job as well in the elections, but Adrienne did a great job on the calendar that the city is building to keep people updated on what's going to be going on in the city for out-of-town guests and for people that live here, kind of a one-stop shop. And so I'm looking forward to that happening. And last, but probably most important, this is our last meeting before college football. So at the next meeting, I expect to be sitting here moping because Miami opens the season with Alabama. So good luck to us. That's all.
Okay, good luck with that. Tommy?
I guess it's old Tommy's turn. And I hate to say this, but I would say your little team's gonna suffer.
Yeah, we're in big trouble. We're in big trouble.
And I'd also encourage everybody to go support Dobbins Bennett.
At the Stone Castle
Yeah, the
this coming
Stone
Friday
Castle
night.
up at Bristol. And that concludes my remarks.
Well, no, you got the first home game Friday the 27th
Yeah,
against Volunteer.
that's right.
Yeah.
I wasn't planning.
And Tommy, you're the one guy at this table who has played in the Stone Castle and officiated at the Stone Castle. So, roll Tribe.
There you go, Roll Tribe.
Okay. Gee, my colleagues covered, at Kingsport, it's got a lot of organizations. Some fall under the support of the United Way, others don't, but we really appreciate when folks give or they volunteer. Dr. Spivey, there was no better example than Dr. Spivey. There was a piece of good news we got late last week. We got some census data from the 2020 census. There may be some more information coming next month, might firm up or expound on some of the data that we've received. But all indications are that between the 2010 census and the 2020 census, I'm going to use a round number, we grew a little bit more than 7,200, our city. So our population is sitting at, as of March 2020, at 55,450, something like that. Yeah. That's great. I mean, okay, the city did do some annexation in the early part of that decade. So we figure roughly, I'm looking at Kim Williams over there, our planner, probably about half of the growth was through annexation, but the other half was natural growth. And we've come on pretty strong the last 3 years. I mean, we meet new people every day, are just thrilled to be here, believe me. So I don't know what the right size is of a community, but I know this. The fact is, in our county, our death rate exceeds our birth rate. So if we're going to maintain places like Allendale and Bays Mountain and the Aquatic Center and you name it, and provide outstanding city services, we'd like to maintain a robust tax base, which makes it that easier on everybody. Kingsporters must be doing a great thing, because when the newcomers come, they feel like they've lived here for years, and that people are waving at them and being nice to them. And I don't know what goes on in some of their cities that they're coming from, but we're glad they're here. We've reached the point in our meeting where citizens may come forward to the podium and speak on issue-oriented items. When you come to the podium, please state your name and address and sign the register that is provided. You're encouraged to keep your comments non-personal in nature, and they should be limited to 5 minutes. Is there anyone who wishes to come forward and speak to our board? If not, thank you. We're adjourned.
Thank you for joining us tonight for the Kingsport BMA meeting. This program has been a production of the City of Kingsport in cooperation with Milligan Productions, Milligan University, and Charter Communications. For more information, visit kingsporttn.gov.